Okay, this is next episode. So this episode you'll be learning about the difference between when to inherit and when to make an object, and that might sound a bit weird, but it can be quite similar sometimes. And properties. First of all, you should know that you can only inherit one thing. If I do inherits, well, you can see I can't do inherit. Inherits zombie. See, it says can only appear once in a class statement. So you can only inherit one object, so know that. So let's say if you wanted to make a person have a gun, and we'll do that. You would say dim g as new gun. We haven't made a gun class yet, but because the thing you need to know is gun is not a type of humanoid. It's not a type of person. It doesn't have a name. It doesn't have a health. You make an object to say person one has a gun. So just remember, like, has a, as in has a gun. So dim g as new gun. So person one has a gun. So that's the difference between inheritance and making that. So I'm just going to quickly make a gun class. It won't be too complicated. Gun. So in here it would say sub shoot by ref h as short const Gundam equals this would be more than a stab, I guess, 25. So then you would just say h minus equals Gundam. And I guess you would say dim ammo as short is equal to 100. No, give him 4 bullets. So if ammo is greater than 0, then do this. And then each time you fire a shot, you would say ammo minus equals 1, because you're going to lose a bullet. So that's just how that works. And then you would obviously implement that into the here. So type S for stab, G, S for stab, G for gun. Else if choice equals G. I'm trying to go over this quickly. Then you'd want to do this, but instead of stab, you'd say G dot shoot. Was it? I don't know. Yeah, G dot shoot. But G is private. Okay, so this should work. And you'd probably want to display the ammo. You can do that if you want, but I'm not going to. So I've actually stabbed there and didn't do anything then. So G and S. So you just got pwned like the zombie did. So this brings me on to the next thing. If I'm going to kill Lizzie, now health has gone minus. We want to detect that. So what? In doing so, we're actually going to make the whole program more efficient. Global variables are not good to have. You want to have things private. So what you can use, you can make accessors and mutators. That's one way of saying it. Getters and setters is what some people say it. But you can make this all with a property. So let's look at what needs to be a property. So these things, these are not very efficient. So what you do, you make them private. I'm going to put a underscore behind all of these, and then underscore here. I have to go for do a lot of fixing. Actually, that's fine. So only here we need to put underscores, because what we're going to do, I'm not sure about this yet. Yeah, I'll do it. And make this private. So then what we're going to do to make this a lot more efficient is make properties for each of them. So property name. So now this will actually, because it's called the same thing, you'll actually fix all the errors. That's why I've made this a different one. I made this called the previous name. So what this is, get means getting the information, so reading it. Setting is setting it. So get is basically a function. Set is like a sub, but it's kind of a special kind of sub because you set something equal to it, and that gets passed in like value here. You'll see later on in use. So return name. So you just want to, if you want to get the value for name, you just say get return name. If you want to set the value for name, you'll say name is equal to value. So that's the name done. Make a property for health. Now this will be a bit different. So health, and then you say get, and that will make it. So in here you want to return. This will be the same, but under set you can have some certain constraints here. So if value is greater than max health, then health is equal to max health, because you don't want to go any above the max health. Else if value is less than or equal to 0, then you want to make it equal to, because we want to detect if someone's died. That's the reason for that. It would normally work if it was 0, but you wouldn't get the dead, because we want to change this. So then you would say health is equal to 0, and then you would say dead is equal to true. I'm going to get rid of this because we're going to make a property for dead in a second now. So property for dead, this is pretty straightforward. Dead, it's going to be a get and set straight. Oh, sorry, if you put dead equals, and it's going to get an endless loop, you need to put underscore dead. Don't get mixed up with that. So actually, in doing so with the dead property, let's make this a bit more interesting. I can also make a variable called private underscore alive as boolean. So then this will equal true by default. So then if dead equals false, then you'll say alive equals not value, and then we can make a property for alive. Then dead will be opposite, so say underscore dead is equal to not value. Okay, so this has gone through and made the program a lot more efficient with okay, so getters and setters is where the name comes from. Accessors, getters, mutators, because you're mutating the value, setters. So that's another, what other people call it. We're probably only going to access max health from within this class. So what you can do, you say property max health. You might get, you'd want to return it max health. So this means we can access it, but I'm going to completely get rid of the set it. So this means you can't set the value for max health. So if you get rid of one of them, we want to make this read only. Okay, so read only. So that fixes the problem. If you wanted to have only a setter but not a getter, then you would set it to write only. So here, this is the only time you want to edit it, but because this is within the same class as where it's declared, I can actually just access it like that. So then this will be set and then never changed after it's been set. So this is a special occasion where you can actually access the variable directly, but then every other time you can only read it. So this is not going to change the program, but it's made it a hell of a lot more efficient. Bobs and health. Okay, all the healths have messed up. Okay, yeah, I found the problem. It was just I didn't add an else here. So else health is equal to value. So that should fix that. And you can see there that the healths have gone back to what they normally were.